That's all I used to think about was the war, like day in and day out. Like it was just wired. It was wired into me. You know, that's what that whole PTSD thing. And then I started having sleep issues and like mood swings. And then they call it hypervigilance. Like I used to think people were following me on the freeway. You know, I'd be always watching my mirror. I always thought someone was out to get me. I'd locking the doors, locking the windows. Always had guns everywhere. I think that's just a byproduct of being in that environment. The stress just starts to get to you.
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, I got a real treat for you. Tej Gill in the house.
What's up?
If you guys don't know this dude, you can follow him at Tej Frog. Tej is Tej Frog, or at Warpath Coffee on Instagram, I would imagine.
Yep, that's right.
And folks, if you guys don't know who he is, he's a Navy SEAL. Now he's an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Retired Navy SEAL?
No, I just did 10 years and got out. Yep, former.
What's the difference between retired and former?
Retired, you got to do 20 and then you retire. So I didn't do the whole 20.
You guys got all these rules.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, if I'm a Navy SEAL for 1 year and figured I'm done, I'm retired.
There you go.
But retired means 20 years, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
And do you, if you spend 20 years in the SEALs, are you doing all badass shit, or is there a bunch of newbies out there doing the badass shit?
It's a mix. Some guys go into training and operations, or some guys go work at the dive locker, the airloft, or you can go on the parachute team. So some guys want to stay operational. So they want to get you around to do different stuff so you have experience. But, you know, I try to stay operational the whole time. A lot of guys will be operational the whole time at a team, but there's a bunch of different commands and different places you can go.
Now, just so everybody listening understands what a Navy SEAL goes through, how many Navy SEALs attempt to be SEALs, or I'm not Navy SEALs, how many people attempt to be Navy SEALs every year, and then how many actually make it?
I don't know the numbers, but I know the percentages. 85% of the people that attempt wash out. So like my class, we started with 159 guys, and 15 of us originals graduated.
Isn't that crazy? Because
some of the guys though, they'll graduate later. They get rolled out of the class they started in, and sometimes for performance, sometimes for injuries, and then they'll put them into another class so they'll graduate later
because they got their leg broke or something.
Right? Yeah, lots of
their femur busted.
Yeah, from falling off the slide for life, or like we're talking about, or the stress fractures in their tibia and fibia in their shins. A lot of stress fractures because we run and run and run.
So it's very difficult getting through the training, mentally and physically.
Mentally and physically. Yep.
Now, why do you think they're doing that? Why do they make it so damn difficult?
Because combat's difficult. So, you know, you want to have the guys tested before you get into combat. You don't want to be tested in combat. You don't want the guy next to you to be hiding in a corner or in a hole when there's a gunfight going on, right? No, so that you don't want quitters, right? So if someone's going to quit, you want them to quit in training, not in combat.
Well, that's a fact,
right?
But at the end of the day, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, they make it difficult so the few that get through are the freaking baddest of the bad.
Yeah, that's that's what we want.
Because like the Navy SEALs, those are the people that like go in and do secret mission shit or quick mission shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many are there in the country at one time? Active SEALs teams.
There was, I don't know the numbers now, but there was about between 1,500 and 2,000, somewhere around there.
Teams.
No, guys.
SEALs.
Yeah. Operators.
How many are on a team?
About 90.
So there's 90 dudes that are all trained.
90 operators, 90 shooters, but you have admin. There's other SEALs that are there supporting it, working on operations, and you have tons of support people.
But
mechanics.
I mean, why teach a SEAL to be a badass if they're going to be doing paperwork?
Yeah. So not all the guys want to be operating all the time. Not all the guys have the drive to.
I thought that's what the whole thing's about.
Yeah. That's a lot of us thought that, but that's not always the case. And then sometimes
y'all grow beards and go in the CIA and freaking travel around and be badasses, almost like spies.
Yeah. A lot of us did. Yeah.
Dude, to me, that sounds like a badass. career. What made you think of doing that?
I wanted to do it since I was a kid. I had a book, like a weapons book it was a weapons encyclopedia. So there's some pictures of some Navy SEALs in Vietnam. They're wearing Levi's jeans, bare feet, and had their face painted green, wearing bandanas, and they all had different clothes on, and they're carrying machine guns and everything. I was like, wow, that looks cool. Yeah.
So dude, when you went through and you graduated, what was the first thing they sent you to? Like real shit.
Oh,
or like you went in and whooped some ass, killed some people. I hate to ask all Navy SEALs that I talked to them. I was looking at
it was a few years. I went through BUDS in 1996, graduated in 97. Then I didn't see any combat until 2001.
Now, in combat, they send you in to do missions, no?
Right.
You're not just over there cooking potatoes.
Right. Yeah.
There's no SEAL cooks, are there? Or are there?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, like you don't become a SEAL.
I mean, sometimes you're cooking stuff, right?
You might cook
for the guys, right? If you're having a barbecue or something, but you're not like a cook.
No, like, dude, every SEAL gets strapped up and goes in and does combat.
Not all of them, no.
Which ones don't? And then why would they have to go through that torture to not go to combat?
So the point of the training is so we're all can do the combat, but a lot of the guys don't get there because, let's say, like I said, they get injured, they're working in operations or at the airloft or something, like who knows, whatever. And then,
does that make him like an honorary SEAL?
Yeah, that's what some of us say, but no. So
I'm going to get killed by a fucking SEAL. It might as well be a real one.
Yeah. So, when the war started off, different teams have different AOs, areas of operation. And Iraq happened to be one of ours. So I got in there right at the beginning in Iraq, and I swam over the beach in Pakistan right after 9/11 to do a reconnaissance mission. But I just happened to be deployed at that time. So a lot of it's timing, being in the right place at the right time. So the East Coast guys didn't get into the war till a couple months later. But some of these conflicts, it's not like Iraq and Afghanistan. Like before, you had like Kosovo was the one before that. And, on the West Coast, we didn't get into it. Only some teams on the East Coast got into it. So a lot of it's just right place, right time. It's just timing. And then before that, you had Panama. Then there's there's different missions here and there, but if you're in the right place at the right time, you get to go do it. So it's not like everybody gets surged into these areas of operation. But when Afghanistan and Iraq kicked off, it was Iraq, 2003 to 2011. So you have an 8-year stretch. So most of the guys got a chance to rotate through, not everybody. And then Afghanistan went till last year when we surrendered, when Let's Go Brandon surrendered. But it's all about timing.
What happened in Benghazi?
Benghazi.
I watched that movie, and it's almost like, dude, if that movie depicts what actually happened, does it? First of all,
yeah.
Then how come people didn't go to jail?
I train the actors to do that.
How come like the people responsible didn't go to jail, or they don't have to answer for that?
That's a great question. I'm sure you've noticed it's a 2 or 3-tier justice system going on here. It's the politics are justice is not blind. The politics get involved in everything. There's a lot of our politicians are committing crimes and doing bad stuff, and there's no repercussions. And then there's other ones, if you're on the wrong side of the aisle, you get a jaywalking ticket. The other guys can get people killed and lose billions and trillions of dollars and nothing happens.
See, why is that?
Corruption. That's the way our government operates.
That's why I'm on the warpath.
That's right. That's why I'm on the warpath too.
So, well, I want to eventually get to Warpath Coffee, which is your entrepreneurial journey, but I'm stuck on the SEAL one only because I always ask in my mind when I see a SEAL, like I would assume all SEALs have killed people.
No, not all of them. And then even like a lot of times when we're on missions, we go into like say reconnaissance missions. You're going in there to watch people or watch something. You're going in there to gather information.
So you don't kill anyone.
Perfect reconnaissance mission. You don't fire a shot. No one knows you're there. You're in and out.
Yeah.
You're invisible, right? It's those missions when they go bad. That's when.
So most SEALs have killed people. No.
Some,
not most.
Yeah.
If you took them all, lined them all up, what percentage will have killed people?
I don't know. I don't know the numbers. Like I said,
we assume out here in civilian land that it's 100%.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
100%. You go over there and start freaking playing war games,
right? Like Call of Duty, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Like you go killing, you sneak in, you get by 18 freaking insurgent soldiers by slitting their throats quietly in the night.
I mean, it happens.
Then you go in and rescue the hostage.
Yeah,
get exfilled out.
That happens, but
by the way, do they call it exfil?
Exfil, yep, exfiltration.
Why do they call it that? Exfiltration? Because in Call of Duty, dude, you got to call in for an exfil.
Yeah. So there's infiltration, right? There's insertion. That's, let's say, drive in. That's the insertion platform. And then if you stop and walk to the target, that's you're infiltrating the target. And then there's the actions on the objective. That's when you're hitting the target. If you're shooting it up or blowing it up, whatever. And then there's the exfiltration. Let's say that's where you're walking back to the vehicles or back to the trucks where you're running. And then there's the extract. And that's when you're on the platform leaving, whether it's a boat, helicopter, car.
Whatever. Where were you when bin Laden got cracked?
I was in Afghanistan.
How come who decided they're going to use that SEAL team?
That's SEAL Team 6. They're anti-terrorism team. That's their mission. Bin Laden's a terrorist. The regular teams are unconventional warfare teams. So we're just like the run-of-the-mill special operations war fighters. And then those guys are anti-terrorism. So, taking out a target like Bin Laden or Saddam, that's going to be, that's their job. So they get that.
Do you play Call of Duty?
Once in a while.
So is it realistic?
Maybe on a really bad day. That's not how. Well, it is how you want the mission to go, right? Because you're always for me, I was always chomping at the bit, right? I don't want to shoot up the target, but in reality, that's not the way it goes. If let's say we're going in to kidnap somebody, ideally we want to sneak in, get in there, get the guy or whoever it is, and then get out unseen. Because you
just said kidnapping.
Yeah.
So who would you kidnap?
Bad guys.
Why would you kidnap them?
So they can question them.
Waterboarding real?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been waterboarded?
No. Oh yeah. During training.
Is it like it doesn't look that scary? It's like almost like it's a cloth over the face with some water dripping over you. Big deal, but it's scary as shit inside that cloth, isn't it?
Yeah, because you feel like you're drowning
and you can't breathe.
Right, and you're upside down, right? Because your legs are up higher than your head, and they're pouring water down your nose and your mouth, and then every time you try to inhale, there's more water on the rag, so it's coming in. So your body, you basically. Unless your mind is very disciplined, you start panicking because your body thinks it's drowning.
And it's not?
Usually not, no.
If they continually do it,
yeah, if they continually do it, they're stuck a hose in your mouth.
It's the same as dunking your head underwater for a minute or two, right? Like you want.
No, because when you dunk your head underwater, you can hold your breath.
You can't hold your breath waterboarding?
Not if they got a bucket of water going down your mouth and up your nose, because when you're upside down, you can't. Your hands are tied behind your back, so you can't plug your nose. So maybe you can close your mouth if you're disciplined, but when the water starts going up your nose, that's uncomfortable. Like, if you're upside down in the pool and you start getting water up your nose, you don't like that, right?
No.
So imagine if you're upside down on usually like a stretcher, right? You're tied to like a spine board. Your hands are behind your back or taped to the side, and you can't control your nose. They got water going down your nose while you're upside down.
What do you think about all the conspiracy people that say Guantanamo Bay? Didn't you ever see the footage where Guantanamo Bay is supposed to be emptied out, but it's actually built up? And that's where a lot of these clones are happening.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
What does the SEALs think about like Q and QAnon and the conspiracies?
I can't speak for other people, but some of the conspiracy stuff, a lot of it comes true, but I think a lot of it's crazy. Like the Guantanamo stuff and
like they say Joe Biden was brought to Guantanamo and executed for treason.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit.
And a clone is now running the country.
Yeah, me personally, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this, and then the QAnon stuff. I think for
JFK
the most part,
still alive.
I think it's out there just as a diversion, as misdirection. I think most of it's baloney. Because I used to follow it a little bit, and to say like, oh, well, whatever, this is going to happen. Then the day it doesn't happen, you're like, oh, I thought that was going to happen. And then they put out like, trust the plan. I think that's their way of, whenever they're wrong, they say trust the. I think it's bullshit.
So when you were on a daily basis, you're out doing missions or, obviously.
No, when you're forward deployed to a war zone, you're out doing missions. Yeah. But not always. Sometimes if your leadership, the command is for whatever reason, gun shy or risk adverse, then you're not out doing as many missions as you would want to.
Or is everybody over there wanting to go places and do shit?
No, not everybody.
Now explain real quick. And I don't know why I'm always stuck on the shit that we're talking about instead of entrepreneur stuff. Well, listeners are mostly entrepreneur. They're going to be wondering why are you talking about war?
That's fine.
But because it fascinates me, and especially because I do play Call of Duty and it's fun. Mm-hmm. And I always think to myself, like, if I went over there as a SEAL or any, elite military force and ended up wiping out villages and shit because I had to, we were told to, would it affect me mentally? That's my question. Does it affect people? Like when you actually kill somebody, does it affect you or is it not like, it's just a job, it's just a job.
I don't know if the actual killing people is what affects you. I think it's the stress of being in the combat zone, of being in that environment. Cause like, we're talking earlier, we're like, yeah, who gets PTSD? Like, you're like, I wouldn't. I play Call of Duty every day. And that's what I used to think too. When I first heard about PTSD, I thought, this is what I thought. I was like, oh, it's only something like the conventional forces guys get, for whatever reason. But
because it sounds like they're soft a little bit, but it's not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
You get PTSD even if you're not soft.
Right. It's the stress. It's the constant stress. You might I always had fun over there. Right.
See, that's what I think I would do.
I was going over over and over and over from 2001 to 2014. I couldn't get enough of it. I just wanted to keep going over there.
Because it was action.
It's action. You're like with your friends on these trips. It's almost like going on a hunting trip and staying in a cabin. Not all of it's the action. Part of it's just like the interaction with your friends. You're having fun, like the conversations and everything. The whole thing with your friends. But the problem is you're in this pressure cooker environment. You have mortar rounds coming in to the base where you sleep. You could almost be killed. When you're driving on the roads, there's roadside bombs. When you're in the helicopters, they're trying to shoot you down. If you're in an airplane, they have surface to air missiles. So that whole thing is stressful. And then when you're going on the missions, like in Iraq, if you're driving under the underpass, every time you go into there, you think there's going to be a bomb. You go into the house. If you start engaging people, you're on a two-way shooting range, right? It's like when you go boxing, you're going to get hit, right? So same thing when you get in a gunfight, bullets go both ways. So I think all that stress just starts to accumulate. And then when you get pulled out of that environment, now you're back here and you're probably I was bored here. And then that's all I used to think about was the war, day in and day out. It was just wired. It was wired into me. And that's what that whole PTSD thing. And then I started having sleep issues and mood swings. And then they call it hypervigilance. I used to think people were following me on the freeway. I'd be always watching my mirror. I always thought someone was out to get me. I'd locking the doors, locking the windows, always had guns everywhere. But I think that's just a byproduct of being in that environment. The stress just starts to get to you. So that's what I think. I think it's the stress. I don't think it's like killing people or doing the mission. I think it's the stress. The stress just starts to break you down.
And you don't even realize it.
No.
That's the crazy part.
Nope.
Like I always say, you know, someone asked me the other day, you know, if I stressed, I'm like, I never stress. But like when you go take tests, it says different. You're like, well, I don't really stress. That's weird. Well, it's because you don't necessarily know you're stressed, and you might be conditioned to the stress, and it builds up and it can kill you. Mm-hmm. Stress is a big thing. So how does it compare to entrepreneurship? Like when you started Warpath Coffee, I'm sure everything didn't go perfectly, right? Yeah. Was there stress?
Oh yeah, tons of stress.
So what was the variation? Like what would you rather have? The stress of war or the stress of entrepreneurship?
I mean, well, now I'd rather have the stress of entrepreneurship because
sure.
you know, like I told you, I've done some healing and put all that stuff behind me. But I think if I wouldn't have done that healing and stuff, I'd still be carrying all that stuff around, and it's like a pressure cooker inside you unless you deal with it. So like we you know, like, right, I'm a tough guy and all this and that. I've been through all this training, and so you don't want to ask for help, right? You don't want to admit that you have issues, so you tuck it down and put it away, but it leaks. So when it starts leaking, you have issues. So you got to deal with it and get rid of it.
So if I buy Warpath Coffee, forget that it tastes better. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Does it really? Because to me, all coffee tastes pretty much the same.
No, it tastes really good. Like I was saying, we don't burn it. It's actually, it's amazing. It's so smooth. We have a dark roast with more bite, and even the dark roast is very smooth. It's like, I wanted coffee that I can just drink black, right? Because one, it's healthier, and then two, I don't want to put all this crap into my coffee. You know, you go to these box coffee stores, it's all milk and sugar and syrup and all this crap in there. But I want just good black coffee, and that's what we have. It's because we don't burn it. That's why you have to put milk and sugar in there. Is when the beans get burnt, it tastes bitter, it tastes acidic. You know,
what's it taste like if it doesn't?
Fucking smooth and good.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, because I want to be able to drink coffee black. I don't drink coffee because I can't drink it black.
Yeah.
It tastes like shit.
Yeah, I'm going to send you a bunch of coffee. You can
Dude,
try
it tastes like shit black.
Yeah, I know.
So I have to put in cream and sugar, and then I'll drink it once in a while, but I don't do it very often because it's cream and sugar. Who wants that?
Fucking nobody.
Dude, if Warpath, I can just drink black and it's good.
Yep.
Dude, you're going to be a billionaire then.
Yeah, I hope so. So yeah,
well, if you built that, you will be.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to go like Starbucks and all this stuff, and it's all sugar, it's all syrups, it's milk. And then I remember one time when I was in the Middle East, I remember it vividly. I was drinking this coffee in Kuwait, and it was so smooth. I was drinking black, and I was like, wow, this coffee is amazing. And I never had coffee like that again until we started doing Warpath Coffee. The guy that roasts for me, his family's been roasting since the 30s, and it is so smooth. It tastes like that coffee I had in the Middle East. You don't need milk. You don't need sugar. It's not bitter at all. There's no metallic taste.
Dude, you're making me want to order Warpath right now.
Good.
By the way, if anyone does want to order Warpath Coffee, go to warpath.coffee and order your ass off. And I assume, and if not, you better reconsider. I assume when people buy Warpath, there's some sort of philanthropic thing that goes along with it. No?
Not yet.
There needs to be.
I know. Not yet. We're still building it up.
Listen, if you want to support the service, the men and women of service, there's out there on these fucking missions still dealing with this stress still. Because, dude, there's people in there right now. Mm-hmm. And they got to deal with the freaking leadership we got right now, which is probably stressful enough.
Yep.
If you want to support them, buy Warpath Coffee.
That's right.
Why? Because do people want to support the military? Most people, good people, I should say. If you're against military, we shouldn't be. Listen, the people that are willing to fucking do the shit military does, I'm impressed by them every day. Why? Because, dude, I would not be willing to do that shit based on the things that I know. Now, based on the ideals, I would, Like ideally I would. Why? Well, because we're fighting for freedom and this and that. But when you start looking into what's really going on, sometimes we're over there, we ain't fighting for shit.
No.
We're fucking over there stealing shit.
Yeah.
We're over there fucking with people. Like I'm not down with that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I can't blame a serviceman or a woman.
No.
So to them, I say we should support them in every way possible. I believe if you get injured at war, in a legitimate war that we send you, you shouldn't have to pay taxes anymore.
I believe that too.
I think your taxes are paid in full. The second you go over there and get hurt, you don't get hurt, you got lucky. Okay, come back, pay taxes. You got lucky. I'd rather pay taxes and have my leg than not have my leg and pay no taxes. But if I lost my leg for this country, don't fucking charge me taxes, bitch.
Exactly.
So I believe in that. So anyway, Warpath needs to adopt something like that.
Right.
I was about to just say, so if you guys, want to support the troops, freaking go buy Warpath.
Right. Yeah. We're actually, Warpath Foundation is in the works, but not yet, but it's coming.
Well, I would take a piece and I would start advertising that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can tell you about
Warpath's a cool name. If the coffee's as good as you're saying it is.
It is.
And it's fucking helping where people because a lot of people wonder, how can they help? Like I'll go to the thing and they'll say, you want to send something to basically a military guy overseas? And I always say yes, but I wondered, are they really getting it?
Right.
Because did you guys ever just get big packages of jerky and shit from people?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then maybe you got it.
Yeah. We used to get crazy packages with
well, when
all sorts of stuff.
When any store would ask me, and by the way, I'd buy $10, $20, $30 worth of shit every time I'd check out. Why? Because they said it was going to people overseas, and people want to support those people.
Yeah,
and I know the bomb squad does.
I say most of it gets over there.
Do you have a code for Warpath Coffee?
Yeah, we have tons.
How about we do this?
Yeah,
how about we do this? You take 10% of whatever the bomb squad buys, and you buy jerky or some shit for people over there.
Yeah, done.
Just for the bomb squad.
Yeah.
If they don't enter bomb squad, then hey, don't do it. But let me be the catalyst where we start the
we'll do a promo code Bomb Squad.
Just bombs.
Bombs. Okay. Bombs.
Easy.
Promo code bombs.
Bomb Squad bombs. What will get them? 10% off? 15% off. And any amount you give us, a portion of that will go to help people overseas.
Yep. Done.
On missions.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome. So again, I know the Bomb Squad, they're patriotic. You wouldn't follow me unless you're patriotic. Unless you just like entertainment. But I'm pretty patriotic. I was in the Marines, but I, had an issue. So I never claimed Marines. It wasn't an issue. I basically got out early.
Oh, okay.
Let's say.
Gotcha.
So honorable or not honorable or dishonorable. It was like I wasn't there.
Gotcha.
But anyway, at the end of the day, I always wanted to be a cop. So I went in the military to be a cop. And then, thank God I didn't stay, and thank God I didn't become a cop, because then I wouldn't be me and I wouldn't have my kids. Although I still think it would have been awesome. Yeah. I think it would be awesome to be a fucking SEAL. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't want to retire. I'd want to be over there every day, all day with my guns, my weapons, my boys, and a mission.
Yeah. I mean, it was awesome. The reason I got out, actually, I went over and worked for one of these 3-letter agencies. We started working with them overseas in the war zones. And then.
Now, let me ask you this question.
What?
Allegedly, of course. Are they over there doing illegal shit?
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. See, in other words, how come nothing happens to them? Like I've been watching videos lately that shows straight up CIA killed John F. Kennedy. And if the CIA killed John F. Kennedy, what the hell are we doing? Like, how come nothing happens? Who is the CIA? Are they the ones really running shit? Because when you can fucking kill the president and get away with it, shit, dude.
Yeah.
You're powerful.
Yeah.
Real powerful.
Yeah. I mean,
didn't you see the video where the driver went like this?
No, I haven't seen that.
Shot him right in his head. And then you see Jackie jumping out of the limo. Why would, if he was getting shot, would you jump? You'd duck. But if you saw the driver shoot your husband in the face, you would jump out the back.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, dude. Google it. It's crazy.
I saw the Tucker Carlson come out, I don't know when it was, a couple months ago. They keep declassifying the documents from the JFK thing slowly. Tucker interviewed some agency guy, and he asked him, like, hey, was the CIA involved? And the guy was like, yep. But
It's coming out, bro.
Yeah. I need to see the receipts.
But see, this is where I don't understand what's wrong with the United States of America. And when I say that, I mean the people in it. Like we, the people, not the military guys. You're doing what you're told. You have to do what you're told. I'm talking about freaking we, the people. What the hell are we thinking? Why don't we hold people accountable? Why can't we impeach people?
Because we've been pacified.
Joe Biden should be fucking impeached.
Absolutely.
Like not for anything criminal, because he's stupid and he's doing a bad job. And everybody knows it.
He should be impeached over the Afghanistan withdrawal and criminally charged. We left what, $85 billion in equipment over there. We fucking ran over there with our tail between our legs.
Why did that happen?
I think because China owns them.
Owns Biden?
Yeah.
Dude, and that's coming from a former Navy SEAL. Do all Navy SEALs believe that?
No.
So there's, you guys argue sometimes like, dude, you're full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of guys that just, I was never political, to be honest with you.
Neither was I. Neither am I.
I never really cared about any stuff. I never like the conspiracy stuff. I was like, whatever, blew it all off, dismissed it. I didn't really care about politics. I thought, just every 4 or 8 years it switched back and forth, it would just swing the other way a little bit. But when the Benghazi incident happened, my friends were over there, teammates, friends. One of the guys was my roommate. So I was like, what the fuck? And then, like you said, nobody was held accountable to this day. This is like,
so what happened though? What was the bottom line? What happened? They could have went in and got him, but they didn't.
Oh yeah, but I think the whole thing was preventable in the first place because the State Department consulate, which is like a satellite embassy, right? So everywhere there's an embassy, there's consulates. Consulate is just a satellite office of the embassy. The security was basically non-existent, and there was over 600 requests for security upgrades from the State Department, and they're all denied by Hillary. She was Secretary of State. Those are her people, the State Department. And then, the CIA base is down the street, the CIA annex, wherever, the State Department, CIA or mirror image, wherever there's an embassy, there's a station, wherever there's a consulate, there's an annex. So then my friends at the annex had to go rescue the State Department people. And
rescue them from what?
From terrorists in Libya.
There were just a bunch of Libyan pissed off people that didn't like them.
Yes. Yeah.
Benghazi, because they were us. Why didn't they like them?
Because we're in their country.
So they didn't like that.
How'd you like if there's a Russian consulate down the street?
I wouldn't give a fuck. Enjoy. Get yourself a pina colada, my friends.
Yeah, but
perestroika.
Yeah. Those people are not like that. That's their territory, and all the other consulates started leaving there because the warning signs were coming. Benghazi's about to melt down. The Red Cross got their people out of there. All the other consulates shut down and left.
Because it was getting hot.
It was getting hot, and then the gate to the consulate was not even locked. They literally pushed it open with their hands, the local Libyans, and then they overran the consulate. They're totally unprepared, caught with their pants down. The fucking ambassador went missing.
So
the last time an ambassador went missing was like in the 1970s. So the U.S. ambassador is missing. The State Department consulate has been overran.
Isn't this nobody's coming to help? By the way,
what's that?
Isn't this all about act of war?
Well, yeah, but we took over the country, and that was Hillary Clinton. In 2011, in the Arab Spring, we basically took over the country. Muammar Gaddafi was killed, and then we had our presence in there, but then it was done half-assed, so it melted down. And then basically my friends had to go rescue the State Department people, and then later that night they were killed.
How though, and why? Because the terrorists said, "Let's go kill them all."
Yeah. So they got the, I think 28 State Department people. They got them out of the compound, and the CIA guys went back to their own compound. And later that night, the CIA compound was attacked, and they thought they were going to overrun it like they did the State Department consulate, but they fought all night long, and at the end of the night, they were killed by mortar rounds. So. Yeah. And there's nobody was held accountable, and then it seemed like nobody cared except for a few Republicans, and Congress. And
see, this is what I don't get about
Yeah.
the American people, dude. Doesn't it blow your fucking mind?
yeah,
Like, it's almost like there's too many people. Like, in other words, let's say you went and told 5 people that you just got punched in the park, right? Your buddies, your brothers. You went home, you got 5 big brothers, and you just said, hey, I just got jumped at the park. All 5 brothers would be like,
let's go.
yeah, what happened?
Yeah.
And so you walk down to the park and you look for these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Well, when we hear stories like this, why doesn't the government go do shit about it? And if the government doesn't do shit about it, why don't we, the people, hold them accountable for not doing shit? Like, in other words, dude, you're no longer fucking senator. You're no longer fucking governor. You're no longer whoever's in violation. Like, in other words, who's in charge here? These guys. Okay. And this happened on your watch. Yeah. And you're no longer these people. Out. We need new people in there.
Well, I think the American people have been pacified, 1, and then 2, our government is so corrupt. There's no mechanism to hold people accountable anymore. And then especially, you ask why we need to retaliate. Look who was president at that time, Barack Obama. So the night the attack happened in Benghazi, he got up, went on a 7 a.m. flight to go to Las Vegas to play golf. U.S. ambassador is missing, and he goes and plays golf, right? So you think there's going to be retaliation?
It wouldn't even seem that he was concerned.
No, not the least.
Like, oh, really? What happened? Oh, well, let me know what happens. I'll be in Vegas.
Exactly. So who's in charge when he's playing golf when there's a U.S. ambassador missing, right? So that's, I don't know. That's I'm starting to just think that's the way it is. That's, you know,
if you want to be a billionaire, figure out how by buying Warpath Coffee we could stop all that.
Yeah.
If there was somehow, some way that my drinking Warpath would fund the correction of that. Like, dude, let's start our own Blackwater.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Blackwater?
Blackwater, yeah.
Dude, Blackwater is a badass sounding organization too. Blackwater. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, that's code name for coffee, isn't it? Blackwater.
No, I think it's like the swamp water and stuff out in the southeast.
Well, coffee could be construed.
It could
as
be,
Blackwater.
Yeah. Yep.
So if we can figure out how to attach Warpath Coffee with correcting the shit we were just talking about, dude, you'd be a billionaire. Everybody'd buy Warpath Coffee. Like, why would you buy Folgers over Warpath?
Yeah.
Number one, Warpath helps a seal, even if it's all goes to your pocket. Like, that's helping a seal for your services. Even though we are going to figure out some way that Warpath is going to, the Warpath Foundation.
Yeah, that's coming. The foundation is coming.
And you just take money that you make off Warpath. So if Warpath became like a Folgers and you were making billions of dollars, because you know how big the coffee market is?
It's huge.
Huge. So if you were to make that kind of dough and people knew point blank, if you buy Warpath or you drink Warpath, you're on the Warpath to get shit fixed in America. Like, dude, I gotta help your marketing team and figure out something.
I'm all ears.
But how long has it been in business?
A little over a year.
Oh, it's just new then.
Yeah. This is year 2.
Oh, right on.
Yep.
So, dude, Warpath Coffee, warpathcoffee.com or warpath.coffee.
Yep.
Either one.
Warpath.coffee is the main site, but we own warpathcoffee.com. So either one. I just use the warpath.coffee because it's shorter.
And it tastes kick ass. It's
amazing.
not just a cool name, but it's actually a kick ass coffee.
It's fucking amazing.
So everybody in the Bomb Squad needs to go get some of that. I want to try it my damn self. But everything that you learned as a SEAL and being in country doing the shit, how much of that do you apply to business?
A lot.
Because you can't kill people and competitors like you can in war.
Right. Yeah, but the failure, right? So business is fucking hard. So when I fail at something, I don't quit. That's the main thing I was taught, right? Don't
quit. That's what you learned, yeah.
Yeah, don't quit. And then action. We would action targets, so if you got an idea, turn it into something, take action. Don't quit. Right. So that's the difference. How many people do you know that have good ideas and they never do anything with it? Or
me included.
I have so many friends that, they want to quit their jobs and do this and do that, but they never do. They just fucking talk. I was like, dude, just go. I'm like, even if you fail, you learn something.
But they're scared. What do they think they're scared of?
Failure.
Like, for example, this phone, I'll show you this thing on the back of my phone.
Oh yeah.
When these first came out, dude, they kept slipping out of my hands. And I said, dude, there needs to be something made for the back of the phone that like holds it.
Yeah.
Now I didn't think of a rubber thing and this, I didn't think of that. I thought more like two hooks where hooked over your fingers. Just kind of like hook and a hook where you slid your fingers. So it wouldn't drop though. Point being is I didn't do shit about it. I just thought about it. This guy did something about it. Now this guy's making millions of dollars. I've got ideas right now that if I told you, you would agree that they're billion-dollar ideas. Why am I not doing anything with them? Well, because I rationalize and negotiate myself out of it. I've already got 8 businesses. I'm already busy doing this, that, and the other thing. And in reality, I must not truly believe it's a billion-dollar company or I'd start it.
Right. Or you're, one, you're scared of failure. 2, you don't have the bandwidth.
That's my problem.
3, you don't have the team.
That's another problem, dude.
That's my problem too. I don't have the team.
I got teams for my businesses. I need another team for that business.
Yeah.
But here, I'll give you an example. So here's
teamwork is key.
Here's 2 ideas that are billion-dollar ideas. Number 1, and by the way, you'll eventually see these and they will be billionaire deals. And I've said these for years, by the way. If you go back to my podcast back in 2018, you've heard me say it before. So, I mean, I've been saying this for years and years before I ever said anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, these aren't new. You know those mister systems that they have on patios when it's hot out and shit?
Yes.
There's just a plastic tube with holes and that sprays water, mists.
Yep.
Put those tubes inside the home of, or inside the walls of a home as you're building it, you're framing it. Put a nozzle outside near the, gas meter or wherever you want to put it, to where now the bug spray guy walks up, sticks something on the end of that nozzle and goes, and it goes inside your walls where it belongs. I do not have to walk around your house and spray like they do all day long at houses all over the country. I do not have to walk around your house and spray. It goes right where it's supposed to go and kills everything that it's supposed to kill immediately with one. So how many more houses can I service, et cetera, et cetera? I call that, fucking genius. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's $1 billion idea, dude. What about this one? You hook up a monitor to your wall that basically does the math for your gas, water, and electricity. So you can see in monetary numbers how much you're spending.
Oh, your utilities?
Yeah, like you can watch your power bill go up by 2 cents an hour or 2 cents a second.
Yeah.
It's going, $24. Now you owe $25. Now you owe $26. It'd be great for conservation because if I saw my meter going up like that, I'd be like, what the hell is on? And then I'd go find out, oh, this is on. And the whole upstairs' lights were on. I turn them down and it says, you just, saved X amount. Dude, that would be huge. Call that a house beat. It's like the heartbeat of the house. Yeah.
Turn off your water to your lawn in the summer or just,
Dude,
turn
what
off
if
the AC.
What if you're on a budget, man?
Yeah.
And you see that your water bill is now $100, which is your budget.
Yeah.
Use less water.
Get a well.
Point being is, I don't know about that one, but I guarantee you that would be popular in any home in the country. And then the last one would be, I used to, see someone pull my credit and I didn't give anyone permission to pull my credit. So based on your credit cards, based on your credit, based on your identity, if you filled something out and paid like $1 a year for this service, I would pay $1 a month. So would everybody. So would 300 million people a month. So all it is when someone pulls your credit or uses your credit card, it just simply gives you what we call final approval. What does that mean? Right now, you swipe your card at a store, it goes to the bank. Bank says approved or disapproved, right?
Right.
So it says approved, bing, it goes, right, thank you, and you walk away with your merchandise. Now that we have these, which are uniquely identified, it should go to the bank for approval. And once the bank gives approval, let me give final approval. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Final approval. Now, people say, Oh, they have that. No, they don't. What they have is a notice. Like when you use your credit card at a restaurant, you'll get a text that says, hey, you just got whacked $57.
Right.
Don't tell me after it happened. Let me be the final approval that it happened. Yeah. So when the waiter walks back and goes, whoosh, my phone goes $87 at this restaurant, and I go, approved. Or, maybe it wasn't $87. Maybe it was supposed to be $37, but they switched the tip. Who knows? Maybe you give your son a credit card and say, go buy a $500 bike, and he wants to buy a $3,000 bike. Point being is, if we got final approval before our credit cards or our credit could be pulled, it would save a lot of identity theft.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
And it would make you aware of how much money you're actually spending. How many times have you swiped your card and you're like, fuck, I didn't even see the total.
$1 billion idea.
Yeah.
There's 3 ideas. I'm never going to do anything with them. I always invite people that are listening. Hey, go do it. Now, again, have you ever seen The Jerk?
Yeah.
Remember when he said, if you ever make money, come back and get paid. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. If you ever do any of my ideas, man, just come back and get me a chunk of change just because I gave you the idea. But those are $1 billion ideas.
Yeah.
Warpath Coffee could be a $1 billion company. What's your plan on making it that?
Direct to consumer marketing, and then the wholesale side. I'm in a couple stores, working on getting into more stores, and then like big stores. And then number 3, brick and mortar coffee shops.
Oh, you're going to open Warpath Coffee shops?
Yeah. We're already working on it right now on the first one.
Where's that going to be?
Boise, Idaho.
Why Boise? Where do you live?
Boise, Idaho.
Oh, is that where you live?
Yeah.
Boise, Idaho is a cool city. It's starting to get a little bit libtardy, isn't it?
Not really. Barely. Maybe like downtown. That's about it.
Dude, how come
Boise's strong? I mean, it's like I thought Texas was strong with, all the guns and good old boys. Like Boise is like Boise, Idaho in general is like gun mania, and is very conservative.
Let me tell you what I don't like about guns. If you get a felony of any kind, you can no longer have a gun.
Right.
Now, again, how does that trump the right to bear arms?
Doesn't.
It shouldn't.
No.
If you're a violent offender, maybe, but there's people that have felonies because they had a pound of weed in their car.
Yeah.
And so now no more gun for you. Well, if there's no more gun for you, what happens if someone home invades you?
Yeah.
You at least should be able to have a gun at your house.
Right.
Maybe not walking around because you got a felony. You lose your right to conceal. But I still get one at my house. Why? Well, because, dude, you have a right to protect your home. You have a right to protect, and the right to bear arms is against tyranny, foreign and domestic.
There's a lot of states right now that are changing their rules to pro-gun, and then there's a lot of states that actually are becoming Second Amendment sanctuaries, and then a lot of states are lifting the concealed carry permit requirement.
A couple of them just did.
Constitutional carry. Like Idaho, you don't have to have one, you just carry it.
You just carry it and you don't need a permit.
Yeah, but that's becoming a trend. Every year, a few more states keep changing it. They go to constitutional carry because it's Second Amendment.
That's what I was saying, by the way, when I was saying it's starting to tip back the other way. Like I think it's gotten so ridiculous that it's starting to say, okay, everybody's starting to wake up and be like, okay, this is stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, but the powers to be have so strong, and they've taken away so much freedom and rights that, they're never going to give it back. Like after 9/11, the Patriot Act, they can spy on you, and they can do all this stuff that they couldn't do before. And then now they slowly keep taking away your privacy, taking away your rights, but you never get those back. It's not temporary. Like, oh, hey, because of 9/11, we're going to start spying on you guys, and we'll give you your privacy back in 5 years. Like, once they take it, it's gone. So you can't give it up. You can't give up the freedom.
See, dude, Warpath Coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I think it gets me motivated, I'm like, yeah, but what can we do? Well, buy Warpath Coffee.
Yep.
But people are going to be like, and then what? Well,
and then drink it.
But no, but then because all the money that's going to become pouring into Warpath because of your support, the billions and billions that are going to be coming into Warpath because of your support. That's your way of saying you agree with what we're talking about and it needs to be fixed. So you're going to buy that coffee as opposed to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think they're a little woke, Starbucks.
Oh, yeah.
So what about Budweiser with their whole woke bullshit? Now, when I say woke, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Because you know what woke even means? It originally meant willfully overlooking known evil.
Oh, I didn't know it was an acronym.
Yeah.
Oh.
Woke was an acronym.
Gotcha.
And because I used to think I was awake. Like I thought woke means I'm fucking woke. Like I'm not stupid. I see what's going on. Well, yeah, I'm woke.
Yeah.
But then someone all of a sudden decided woke was bad. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't get that. Well, I started researching, and it was because woke is willfully overlooking known evil.
Gotcha.
Which would make you woke.
Yeah. I was confused about the same thing too. A few years back, like, I think, you know, when all that QAnon stuff was going on before the 2016 election time there, I would see things like the Great Awakening or this guy's awake. And then you see woke. And I was like, what the fuck?
Well, dude, what about aliens? They're saying straight up aliens exist.
Yeah.
They're saying they have.
I believe in aliens.
Yeah. They're saying that they have UFOs. They cannot explain.
Yep.
People say the Roswell, New Mexico crash was an alien crash and they're releasing files on that.
Well, have you seen, as far as Roswell, the morning after the crash in the local newspaper in Roswell, New Mexico, it said Army Air Force recovers flying disc. And then later that afternoon, they reprinted the newspaper and it said Army Air Force recovers weather balloon. So.
Yeah. Well, again, supposedly that was an alien craft.
Yeah. And then have you seen,
and that means if we've been studying that shit since Roswell incident, that's a long time. And if you think, well, where do you think microwave came from? That's alien technology that we got by reverse engineering.
Lasers,
shit.
Microchips. When did the microchip come out?
I don't know.
Right after the crash. When did we create the CIA? Right after the crash. When did we create the NSA? Right after the crash.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Lots of technology.
And our technology advanced drastically right after the crash.
Drastically, exponentially.
But I hear
if you look in the previous timeline, you know, we created the combustion engine and, you know, electricity and lights and all that. But then after the 1950s till now, how much did we create compared to the beginning of time?
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Dude, so right now you're full time. That's all you do is Warpath Coffee.
That's it. Yep.
Travel around. Do you do speaking engagements?
I don't.
Coaching, anything like that?
No, I'm just doing the coffee. Yeah, I got 3 kids, 2 German Shepherds. I'm married, building a house and doing the coffee.
And you live in Boise, Idaho.
Yeah.
So how can Bomb Squad support you other than buying the coffee?
Buy more coffee.
Just buy more coffee and have your friends buy coffee?
That's right. And once you drink the coffee, you're going to like it. The coffee is legit.
I wish we would have thought up a contest or something. Cause like I would have bought, you know, a bunch of coffee to pass out to the first people that did this, that, or the other thing. But we will figure that out and have you back on another ep.
Yeah.
I want to see how it progresses. Dude, it's only a year old.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's just baby.
Yeah. We sold over 40,000 bags last year.
Without even trying, or you were trying?
We were trying, but
how are you doing it?
It was all direct to consumer.
We need to get you on Joe Rogan. You know Joe Rogan?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
My boy Andy Frisella has a podcast. I guarantee you his listeners are like mine.
Oh,
fucking badasses.
Yeah.
You're going to get a bunch of people. You might get 40,000 bags of coffee sold just from this podcast.
That'd be crazy.
Well, I mean, I guarantee you, dude, 40,000 people will hear this.
Wow.
The question is are they down for the crown? Do they buy into what we just talked about?
Yeah.
Because if I heard this, I'd be like, dude, I'm gonna buy his fucking coffee.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't taste good, I might not buy it again.
Yeah.
But I would definitely buy it once. Number one, to support my boy Brad Lee for putting out free shit like this. Number two, because I want to ultimately support someone who, you know, served our country. Mm-hmm. And then number three, you know, is for the taste. Because, you know, I guarantee you, dude, to me, it all tastes the same. Like if yours tastes like Folgers and Starbucks and the rest of them, I'd still rather have Warpath. Why? It just sounds doesn't. Cool. Is your packaging cool?
Packaging's cool. Yeah. It's big skull and crossbones. Yep.
Why Warpath?
The t-shirt company I used to have was Project Warpath. And then, you know, I was on the Warpath. Like I said, I went to Iraq and Afghanistan 16 times. And
do you get the t-shirt if you buy coffee?
T-shirts are coming. soon.
Dude,
So I'm gonna have t-shirt bundles.
Yeah, but you should bring them back, dude. Those sound like old classics that people would still want.
They were I know I have people emailing me all the time about the t-shirts, but
which one sold that 100,000 of them?
I don't kneel.
See,
it was American,
I don't kneel.
American flag on the back, top in big letters said I don't kneel. On the bottom it says I stand for fallen heroes. Because that's what the national anthem was about.
See, that's why you sold so many, though, dude. That's my point. People want to support this shit.
Yeah.
They just don't know how.
Yeah, that's what the shirt, because the veterans of foreign wars they finally got the national anthem pushed through Congress, I think in 1932, to make it the actual national anthem of the United States, and it's for veterans of foreign wars, for fallen veterans, for fallen heroes, right? So then all this stuff came about recently about the police brutality and stuff, and that's why they started kneeling. But the national anthem is for veterans of foreign wars. So.
It's funny, earlier I was saying, hey, what names do you have for the flavors? Because you'd think Warpath would have some badass names, and he said, well, we have a few holiday blends. Dude, we got to come up with some. I need to join your marketing team where we come up with like names of flavors.
Yeah.
Like something that has something to do with badass Warpath, like Savage Mornings.
Yeah.
Napalm.
Yeah.
Vanilla. Dude, you have it. So does it just taste like coffee?
Yeah, it's just
there's no flavors.
Yeah, so actually in the next couple of weeks I'm dropping a maple bacon. I'm going to do a couple flavors and I'm going to start.
But it tastes like that.
Yeah, it tastes like that. I have a couple other flavors on deck that I haven't released yet, but some of them you can taste it, the flavor, and then some of them it's the aroma. So it tastes just like black coffee, but there was one, I don't know if I'm going to drop it, but I tested it out. It was a jelly donut. It just sounded cool. I wanted to try it. The coffee it just tastes like black coffee, but you can smell jelly donut.
That's kind of cool.
Other ones, you actually taste the flavor. It's not so much the smell. So
is it all on your website?
Yep.
warpathcoffee.com, or better than that, warpath.coffee.
That's right.
I didn't know there was a .coffee.
Yeah. Yep.
Warpath.coffee, folks. And go follow this dude at TEJFROG, Tej Frog, or Warpath Coffee on Instagram. What about YouTube? You got any YouTube? You put out content at all?
I don't, not yet.
You need to.
Yeah.
Dude, go follow this guy. Appreciate you coming in, dude. Thanks for your service. And as always, folks, until next time, keep it real. You can actually do more than you think you can in a year. Just like if people would stop eating shit and working out for 3 months, they would be amazed what 3 months, just 3 months, can do. 90 days can literally transform your body. And what's crazy is that's not even very long.